whispered logic puzzles. Thank you for joining me. I'm Andrea, and I'm going to solve level 16 of Sandwich Sudoku by Cracking the Cryptic. Okay, first I'm going to find the ones and the nines. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 15. That can be done with 2, 3, or 4 digits. That means the 9 could be here, here, or here. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 7. That can be done with 1 or 2 digits. That means the 9 could be here, or here, or here. And that is all the 1s or 9s I've started with. So now I'm going to look. So like 26. The fewest digits it could possibly have is 4. Let's say we started at one edge. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. We get the center. If we started at the other edge and said 1, 2, 3, 4, we also get the center. So anytime we have a number along the edge that has the smallest number of digits being 4, we can put some X's out. So there I can put an X. Now another thing I can look at is there's a 3 by this X. So I know that there will be a 3 in here. That means it's going to have 5 digits. Well, if I start at an edge, I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I start down here, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it's 5 digits, I know that the 3 in the center will all be X's. Okay, 11 doesn't have enough, 0. 31, this has 6 digits. So if a 1 or a 9 is right here, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and if it was here, it'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What this shows us is if it's 6 digits, then you only have 2 openings at both edges. Okay, 7 is too small, 18 is too small, 7, 19, 15. 23 has at least 4 digits, so I can put the X right here. 15, 15, 0, 6, 0. 28 has at least 5 digits, so I know that these center 3 have to be X's, and another 28, so, okay, 0. Okay. Alright, so let's see what that's opened up for us. A couple things when I'm glancing around. One thing I've noticed in this square, only this little bottom row of the square is open, which means both the 1 and the 9 have to be in here. Also, it's a 0, which means the 1 and the 9 will be right next to each other. So one of them is going to be in the center. The other one could be on either side, but that will fill up that row. So let's look at this 1 or 9. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 7, which can be done with 1 or 2 digits. Well, I can see it has to be 2 digits. And so that will go there, and that will finish the column. In this row, it's a 0, so the 1 and the 9 are next to each other. So that means the other one goes right here, which finishes this square and this row. In this column, the digits between But since this is an X, we can now go back to this square again, because the other one, or the 9, goes right here. So in this column, there are 6 digits between the 1 and the 9. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other one goes right there. And now in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 15, which can be done with 2, 3, or 4 digits. So it could be over here, or over here, one of these. And this square now only has one other opening. So we'll go right there. And in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 23. That can be done with 4 or 5 digits. So these are all X's. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that puts the other 1 or 9 right there. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 26. And we've narrowed it down so we know it's 5 digits. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes right there. Now in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 28. That can be done with 5 or 6 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means the other one is right here. Okay. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 19. That can be done with 3 or 4 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the other one will go here. Now something I notice, there's already a 9 or 1 in this square. So this is a 9. And now I can go and say that's a 1. That's a 9. This is a 1. This is a 9. A 9. A 1. A 1. A 1. A 9. Okay, I like it a lot when I can actually see what the numbers are. Okay, I'm looking in this column. There's a 1, and there's only one other opening. So we've got the 9 right here. In this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 6, which can be done with 1 or 2 digits. Well, over here, there would be 3 digits, so I know it's not over here. So it puts the 1 right here. And that finishes this square also, and in this column, they add up to 15. I can see that it will be right there. Okay. In this row, there's only 2 spots left, and it's a 0, so they're right next to each other. So these are both 1 or 9. And looking in this column, it's also a 0, which means it can't be down here because they couldn't be next to each other. So this would be 1 or a 9, but this row and the square tells me that this is the 9. So this is 1 and the 9, and the last spot we have for 1 is right there. Okay, now I'm going to collect all these X's and clear them off. Okay, so now in this row we have 4 digits that add up to 23. And I don't see anything that would let me narrow that down any further. In this row we have 3 digits that add up to 15. And again, there's nothing around here that can narrow it down. And here also 3 digits that add up to 15. Here they're right next to each other. Here there is a 6. Got that. Here there are 6 digits that add up to 28. That means in here will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, which means next to each other. Here I've got 3 digits that add up to 11. They each have a 2. Okay. In this column, I have 5 digits that add up to 26. There's a 3 included. Also, there is a 7 outside, so I cannot have the 7. So these digits will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I've already got the 3. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 8. In this row there's a 6, so it will be 4, 5, 8. In this row there's an 8, so it'll be 4, 5, 6. Okay, so then down here, this will be the 2 because there's not a 2 in there. Okay. And looking back on this row, there is a 2 included in here because both of these have a 2. But it can't be this square, and it also can't be this, so this is a 2. Okay. Alright, let's look back. This row, I've got 4 digits that add up to 23. One of them is a 4. 4, 5, 6, 8. So, say 5, 6, 8. This column has an 8, so 5, 6. 5, 6, 8. So in this row, the outside will have 2, 3, and 7. So 2, 3, and 7 will be over here. I can see there's a 7 in this column and a 7 in this column. So this will be a 7, and then there'll be a 2 or a 3 here, and a 2 or a 3 here. Okay. So if we look back in this row, I've got the 3 digits that add up to 15, and I can't really narrow it down yet. This one. So something that will help me narrow it down in here is that all 3 of these are in the same square, and there's a 4 in the square. So nothing with a 4. Okay, that. I can go ahead and start adding in these digits. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've already got 8. Also, the 3 and the 4 in the center. Let's see. Okay, let's just start over here. So I've already got a 2. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right here, there's already a 3 and a 4 in this square. So it'll be 2, 5, 6. And right here, again, there's a 3 and a 4 here, but there's also a 5. So this will be 2 or 6. And here I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, so in this row, it's also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So, okay, there's a 6 in this column. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. And this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. There's a 5 in this column and a 3 and a 4. So 2, 6, 8. And here there's a 3, 4. So 2, 5, 6, 8. noticed when doing all of this is that in this square, there are 6 digits, and all of those are either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8, which means there's no 7 listed here, which puts the 7 right there. Okay. Alright, let's look at, got that. Let's see, can I narrow this? You know what, I can't narrow this down more because now we've got a 7 up here. So this will be 2, 3, 6, 8. There's already a 6. This square right here has a 3 in this row, an 8 in this section, and a 6. So this will be the 2. Okay, so now we've got either 3 or 8. And down here there's already an 8, so this will be a 3 and an 8 right here. Now in this column we have 1, 2, 3. We don't have 4 or 5, but 6, 7, 8, 9. So this could be a 4 or a 5. And now since these 2 are both either 4 or 5, that means none of the others in this square are. Okay, so I've got that. In this column, I now know that it's not a 7 included, so that narrows it down a bit. Oops. 2, 6, 2, 8. 6, 8. Okay, so here's 3, 4. Okay, there's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it could be either 3, 4, 5, 6. In this square, there's already a 3 here and a 6. So since it can't be either a 3 or a 6, that means that's not an option. So it's either 4 or 5. And I'll put those there. And this is either 4 or 5, so I'll get rid of the 3 and the 6. And since the 4 or the 5 will be here, I will take this 5 out of this column. Okay. Alright, I'm going to look at this square and try and get these sections as they have 1, 2, 3, and then we don't have a 4 or a 5. There is a 5 in this row, which means the 5 is right here, and a 4 here. Okay. Okay, looking in this square, we have 1, 2. There's not a 3 could be either here or here. There's a 4 in this row and a 4 in this column. So this is a 4, which makes this the 3, and then 5, and then the 6 could be either of these. And then there's a 7, and an 8 could be either of these. I can see that this is narrowed down to 5. That makes this an 8. Okay. And that narrows this down to 4. And makes this a 3. And a 4. And this is a 5. And a 4. Okay, here we have 1, 2, 3. There's a 4 in this row. But this could also be a 4. Then there's a 5. Then there's a 6 there, so this could also be a 6. And then 7 goes right here. 8, 9. Okay, let's look down here. There's 1, 2. I don't have the 3 yet. 6. This could be 6. Looks like this one's actually been narrowed down to 6. So this is actually 3. This is 6. This is 4. And this is 6. And this is 8. And now this is 5. Oh, that was good. Okay. So in this square there's 1. There's a 2 in this column, which means this is the 2. 3. Either of these could be the 3. There's a 4 and a 5 over here. Then there's a 6 there. And one of these is a 7. Okay. Over here there's a 1. There's a 2 and a 3 up here. For 4, there's a 4 in this row, 4 in this column. So this is a 4. And now that's narrowed this down to 5. And this to 4. Okay. So speaking of 5, now there's a 5 in this row, so that makes this the 5. And then a 6, which makes the 6 right there. I'm going to look at this column right here because I can see 2 and 3 are the ones. There's 1. It could be 2 or 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I noticed in this row there's a 2. So the 3 is down here. That makes this a 2. And this a 3. Okay. In this row there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8 and a 9. Okay, let's do this square. There's 1. There's a 2 in this row, in this row, in this column. So this could be a 2 or this could be a 2. There's a 3 in this column, so one of these could be a 3. It's 4 or 5. There's a 6 in this row. So one of these is a 6. And 7, there's a 7 in this column, and this column. One of these is a 7. And then 8. There's an 8 in this row, so one of these is an 8. And then 9. Let's go back to the edges. So in this row, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 15. There's a 4 included. And then this is either a 3 or an 8, which means it's a 3 or an 8. Okay. And this is 7 or 8, which means this is the 8. And this is the 3. That narrows this down to 7 and 3. Looking down here, there's 2, 6, and 2, 6. So this is not a 6, and it's a 7. This is a 6 and an 8. In this column, there's a 2, 6, and a 2, 6. So this is the only one with the 5. And this row, there are 2, 6, and a 2, 6, and this is the only one with an 8. Okay. So a bunch of 2s and 6s. Let's look around the edges. Okay, like in this row, in this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to 18. We have a 3, 4, and 5. So that means the other digit is 6. That puts a 6 right here. That makes us a 2 and a 6.